League of Legends, a game with an audience so toxic, a fraction of what some of these players say would make you want to weep and repent for your own participation. There are other communities as well, such as Valorant, Overwatch, etc. My name's Bloodfox, welcome to the channel. Today, I'd like to talk about the negative connotation around competitive gaming. Today, I was watching a video by a creator I've been following for a while now. I'd say for about the past 2 years or so, and his name is Nice. The video is titled, "I am part of the problem." And what he had to say was not only interesting to me, but it is true as well. He proceeds to talk about his work being a coach specifically for League of Legends players to improve and better their play, talking about the massive amount of hate he receives and how no one ever wants to help new players, or essentially bad players, become good players.
It was very sad because the community at large kind of showed itself its true colors. They're better than you. They know more than you. You aren't worth spending the time to get better at the video game. You're just not worth it. You don't matter.
Although Nice stays well within the boundaries of his work of coaching and doesn't branch out too far with this topic, although he could, I'm sure, I wanted to take it a little further and discuss it, specifically about new players or bad players and not getting help from either content creators, other coaches, or better players. It's interesting to me looking in and seeing these what people would consider good players almost gatekeeping in a sense. It's like they don't want more people to play the game that they love so much, which ultimately hurts the game overall. These players rarely help newer players, and look, to some extent I get it, I'm no saint in all this either. I've definitely had my fair share of toxic moments in MOBAs, and while I am actively aware of that, I do try to help new players where I can. The people that do this, like Nice, get blasted to the moon and back with comments like, "You can't even make Challenger. You're trash." It's almost as if it's to tear you down, which I'm sure is the intention. If you're not Challenger, you can't talk. But I would argue that even if you're knowledgeable about the game and have a good record of playing said game, that what you have to say has value. You can help others. But no one wants to hear that or cares for it because they all have to be individually coached by Faker. This negative atmosphere that surrounds these games are killing the game and will eventually cause the game to stop being played. As Nice says in his video, he isn't impervious to hate, and realistically I don't believe anyone is. Oftentimes, the bad will outweigh the good because there is just more of it than the latter. But why is it like that? Why is it that when I queue into a game of League, or Predecessor, or Valorant, there's always someone or some people just going at each other right off the bat? It makes the games almost unplayable, because at this point in your mind, all you're thinking about is why even play this game? This isn't fun. Which is so disappointing because the games actually are fun when you get the rare game of someone not running it down mid-inting because they were simply called trash one time, and so that led them to believe it is in fact their truth. Or when someone tells your grandmother Mabel to come over to get their back blown out for a peaceful transition to the afterlife. These players will say anything, even if they don't mean it, just to bring you down. It doesn't matter if you're on their team or the enemy team, they will say anything to get their way, and at this point, they don't even care about the outcome of the match. So I would say that ego amongst these better players is part of the issue. The logical solution would be to actually work together to win the game as intended, but that's not how it usually goes. Everyone has to be the best, and everyone has to be the carry. Returning to Nice, although he may rage and post his content publicly, anyone that is being coached by him should know what they signed up for. Which blows my mind why people say the things they do about him, because from my perspective, I've never seen someone try so genuinely hard to help someone else get better. Yes, he's yelling and he's freaking out, but most of the time, the client isn't doing what they're told or trying to talk back thinking they know more. When someone is trying to help others and is constantly shit on for it, what does that actually say about others? I don't think that competitive gaming can really be rid of this environment, and if it can, I don't have the solution. But what I do know is that we all should try to help others to be better players rather than nosediving into blind rage and ultimately just looking like a goober for it. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about it a little bit because I think that putting those around us down isn't the right thing to do, but rather we should find a different solution to getting better at something that we all love, which is gaming. If you would like to check out Nisa's vid, I'll leave a link to it in the description box down below. I'm BloodFox, and I'll see you guys in the next vid. Peace.